Right, guys, we're looking at the transfer market now, and Man United's priority looks like it is Baleba. And listen, I've been banging that drum for a while now, and when you look back and see the business that Brighton have done, 25 million they paid for him in 2023, and the transfer experts online are saying that an official bid from Manchester United is imminent, looking something like 100 million, but can Man United do some similar deals like they've done with Cunha and Mbeumo, like where they're smaller fees up front and spread over the course of the contract, which will obviously take that spending down. So it will feel like it's possible. They're going to have to work some magic here because it will be some window, I think, if they was to get Baleba and just cap it off, three forwards, changing the dynamic up there, and then getting in some real legs. So they've gone and bought four machines physically. And I think physicality has been a massive loss for this team, a massive deficiency in this team. I've said it for so long, for not just the team, the squad. And I think just to go back to Baleba, he's a young kid. He is a wonderful talent, got a huge talent, high ceiling. And what I would say, I think it's managing the expectations of someone like him if he does come in, because by no means am I saying that you buy him and he is the absolute answer and he is the key to everything being unlocked. I'm not saying that. He's a young kid who will need to develop, who will need to be integrated into the squad, to integrate into the system, have to work and learn to understand the responsibilities of Manchester United, different requirements, different pressure. All these things come into it when you sign for Manchester United. He'll have to get used to that. But what I would say is he is something different to everything we've got there. And that difference that he has is what is really needed, I think, to push this squad on. I'm saying not immediately, but I think it can happen. And I think when you look at our team and in the midfield area, we've got some hugely talented players in there. Bruno, Kobe, Casemiro's experience. Ugarte does a lot of what them other players don't do as well, running, shielding, scheming. Baleba's got the legs, the engine. There's an experience there. Like I said, I think managing the expectations as players, as fans, I think will be needed with someone like Baleba, just because he's going to be a huge fee and he's someone that everyone's talked about and wanted. But I think he could come in and he'll be a breath of fresh air. Looks like a great kid. And you know what? He'll make mistakes. Trust me, he will make mistakes, but that's part of it. But he'll learn. And my biggest fear is if you don't get him this window, everyone's awake now. Other teams will be at the desk next time with their checkbooks out, and Brighton's asking power will be higher, and they'll ask for 20, 30, 40 million pounds more. Because you have to say, the last 4 or 5 years, Brighton and Hove Albion have to be in the conversation for being one of the best in terms of selling. One of the best in terms of buying low, selling high. It's been ridiculous. You look at them; they sold McAllister for huge money. Cucurella, 60 mil, wasn't it? Casado, 115 mil. Trossard for big money. Sanchez, the keeper, I think 40 to 50 mil. Ben White, 50 mil. Like, there's some huge players there. I'm missing out a couple, I'm sure. But they're buying low and selling high, and they have to be up there in the shout. For the last 5 years, recruitment in and out has been nothing short of out of this world. So massive round of applause for the guys at Brighton who are doing a ridiculous job over there. And I look at it and you go, if Man United get Baleba, the Man United midfield is like, they've got to get someone out. Because you've got Ugarte, you've got Kobe, you've got Casemiro, you've got Mount, you've got Bruno, all vying for that midfield two. There's a midfield two that play there. So it's going to be hard, especially if you've got Cunha, Sesko, and Mbeumo playing. I think the manager's going to mix that all about. You could end up seeing Bruno playing in one of them forward wide areas a lot of the time because he can do that in impact games. Mason Mount can be one of those as well. Diallo, like Ahmad, like he's got to be sitting there going, hold on, oh, these guys can't start in front of me yet. That's what he must be thinking. Wow, it's crazy. Hojlund, I'm seeing as well, the reports are that he's talking to Milan about a loan move, them covering all of his wages and a loan fee for that, which will add to the Man United financial situation. I think Rasmus Hojlund has to go out on loan. I think if I was him, I'd definitely want to go out on loan minimum. Fresh start. Italy, he knows the place. He looked good out there. I think it'd be a good move for him. Milan will be a good move for him. I think it'd be good for him to go out there, get that experience. And what can happen when he comes back, who knows? Fabrizio is the one who broke that story, and he was saying that Milan and United are kind of talking about a loan deal. €6 million, I think, loan fee. Salary fully covered. And there's a buy option of around 45 to 50 million or 40 to 45 million euros. So big loss on someone like Rasmus Hojlund. But I think this era, this Ineos almost have to write off money from the past regime. It's hard, I know that, but I think Man United can't look back and go, oh, he was 75, we can't let him go for 40, 45. No, if he's not right, cut your losses. That's the way I look at it. And don't worry about, oh, Man United have made a huge loss on so-and-so. Ineos weren't there. Jason Wilcox, Omar, these guys weren't in the building. It's not their fault. They're doing a clean-up process right now to try and clean the decks, make things right, and in the next year, 2, 3 years, hopefully we see a positive reaction in that sense. Have you seen the other news, by the way? Jack Grealish going to Everton. That's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. I see Simon Jordan saying, oh, he's never £100 million player, this, that, and the other. I think if you take, sometimes it's like people forget what's gone on in the past. Whether he's £100 million player, we can argue that all day long, but there's no doubt in the talent that he had. There's no doubt in that the fanfare that he created around him because of the way he played football. We hadn't seen anything like this. And I'm not just me saying it, but it was all over the media, fans around the country. We ain't seen anything like this since Gaza. We ain't seen someone. He pulled Villa through the mire. I'm telling you, he pulled Villa up. He'd take the ball from fullback areas, from centre halves, run through, dribble past 3-4 man, bang, goal, getting the ball in central areas, just playing with a bit of freeness and looseness. And City bought him. Now, when you look at Jack Grealish's career at Man City, I've said this on numerous occasions. He has won trophies at Man City. He's been hugely successful. Premier Leagues, he's won the treble. He's done it all, right? What he went there to achieve that will be written up on the walls when he left, he achieved. The question that I think that I'd love to get the answer to from him, which I think I know the answer to, is that I still don't think he really enjoyed his football there. If you asked him where he enjoyed his football most, I reckon he'd say Villa. Because he was playing with a freedom, allowed to come inside the park, be able to get the ball in all areas of the pitch, not locked down and having like stipulations and there's rules and regulations to where you got to play for the betterment of the team and the structure. This kid was like a maverick, just flying about, and just where the game was, he felt it and was there and could produce moments. And so he didn't get that freedom at Man City, but that's what he bought into. Yes, he didn't get the stats that other wingers may have got, but I guarantee you, ask the players at Man City, did Jack Grealish produce, especially in the treble season? Did he produce for you? Did he what? He brought more than goals and assists, and some players do that. Sometimes it's not about. We're getting very statty. Everything's stat orientated. Oh, you're only as good as your stats. Football just isn't a set piece game. It's not like NFL and basketball. It's just all driven by stats. It's not like that. There's a lot that doesn't meet the eye. There's nuances in the game that have a huge value. And I go back to someone like Darren Fletcher, who played for Man United, Ji-sung Park. Them two especially, those players would never have been the most pleasing on the eye to a fan and gone, oh, I'm going to pay just to watch him because he does flicks and skills and step overs, etc. But those guys done so many things on the pitch that would go unnoticed to the roving eye, to a casual football fan who's just watching a game every once a month. Even the fan that comes every week, they wouldn't see some of the detail in terms of like making a run into an area where they're never going to get the ball, but they're running there to impact the next phase of play, to open up an area, to give someone else space, to give the player on the ball time, running the opponent away, creating that gap in the middle of the pitch or in the area that they're playing. Running back, creating more numbers defensively to slow teams down. Harrying. Like, there's different things in the game. There's holding onto the ball for a second or two longer than any other player would to bring another player, which means there could be 2 or 3 players now attracted to the ball. What does that do? That creates space for someone else. Do you think someone like Hojlund or Jesus or Mahrez or Bernardo Silva or Kevin De Bruyne ain't saying, get it to Jack because he's going to create space for me. He's not going to beat the man. He's going to come back on his right foot. But before that, he's drawn 1 or 2 out to create a space for me to run into that little channel where I can then make the pass for a goal. These are things that you don't that aren't put on the stat list. You can't account for it when you're looking at data and stats. This is like you got to watch the game and see the game. And this is why I think Pep would play him in those moments, in them games, in that running and treble, was playing him. And his career there, like I said, he's not put up ridiculous numbers like others who get all the plaudits. But there's parts in his game where you go, oh, that's the reason why he played. And do you know what? I think Jack would be sitting there going, I wanted to get more goals and I wanted to get more assists and I wanted more freedom. I got the trophies, man. And I think this is why this Everton move is key for him, because it's a breath of fresh air. There's no pressure on him to win anything. Go there, enjoy yourself, and show people the Maverick's still there. So I'm wishing him all the best. And it's the same feeling that I had with Marcus Rashford. I want him to go there to Barca. And there's a couple of the glimpses I've seen, a couple of the clips. I was not watching any games, I've got to hold my hands up. But a couple of the games I've seen him play, in the moments, he set up a goal the other day, for Rafinha. The running off the ball, no one can live with it. The speed, the timing, the understanding of space, and then the execution at the last bit to cross the ball on a sixpence. Marcus Rashford could do crazy stuff there at Barca if it's done right. I'm telling you, he's put in the right situations. But yeah, good luck to Jack over at Everton. And David Moyes, who I saw the other week in America, who looked quite downbeat about potential signings, and we're getting pipped and we ain't been able to execute and find anyone yet, has gone and got Jack Grealish on loan with a £50 million option to buy at the end of the season. So good luck to him. And the fans there will love him. The fans at Everton will absolutely love him. Also, did you see the stuff about Donnarumma? Wow. One of arguably the best goalkeeper in Europe last year. Wins a treble. What I'll do is I'll give you the quote from Enrique, which was brutal, right? But I kind of like that. You know where you stand. But I don't think Donnarumma would have loved it. But this is his quotes anyway. Donnarumma is out of the squad. As it's my own decision, I am 100% responsible, he said. I want a different kind of goalkeeper, and I made this decision. Wow. Donnarumma is one of the best goalkeepers in the whole world. Just that little caveat to cap it off. One of the best keepers, but just not my type. Now, we would never have seen this 10 years ago. If you're the best goalkeeper in the world, the top club who's winning everything at the time never sells you because you're the best goalkeeper in the world. He might be the best goalkeeper in the world in terms of saving the ball and stuff to stop the ball going in the net. But is he good enough with his feet? I think that's the question. And this is just the ever-evolving kind of identity of a goalkeeper now is very different. I played with so many goalkeepers that could barely reach the halfway line. Couldn't pick out anyone really on a consistent basis. Some could kick it far, but couldn't really have the direction to pick people out. Nowadays, you've got to have like pinpoint accuracy, short and long over varying distances, to be able to understand how to play through the press. If it's 2 people, 3 people, or 1 player press, like what's going on behind that press. The goalkeepers now got to see so much. They're part of the 11 now. It used to be 10 players and the keeper. Very different now. So Donnarumma is living in a different world now of goalkeepers. And I bet people like Buffon Edwin van der Sar, Schmeichel, the top goalkeepers of yesteryear are sitting there going, wow, not in my day, that would never have happened. But wow, probably only Edwin's probably sitting there going, you know what, I wouldn't have minded playing today. He'd have been one of the top keepers with his feet. But Donnarumma's agent has come out saying Premier League is the right step. That's where he wants to go in his view, and we're working on it. So good luck to Donnarumma, and hopefully he gets the club. I'd love to see him in the Premier League. Great goalkeeper. Hearing rumours about Man United, I don't think they've got enough to go for him and Baleba. But I think the priority, for Man United has got to be, if they're having to prioritise a goalkeeper or a midfielder, I would 100% go down the midfielder route, 100%. So yeah, that's it, man. That's all the news that's coming out, and that's interesting me at the moment. But just stay tuned for Rio Reacts. Go on the platform, go on the channel, guys, and just have a look at some of the stuff we've been doing lately. And the Harry Maguire interview is absolutely doing some great stuff. Some of the stuff he talked about, you'll love it. I see him in a completely different light now. Mbeumo, when he signed for Manchester United, go on there. The exclusive is there, among loads and loads of other stuff. Reactions to Sesko and all the new signings around the league. So listen, take care. See you soon. And we'll be back very, very soon. Rio Reacts. Take care.